It's a long way home, thinking about that city of charm.
Virtual executive leadership back then was strikingly different than what it is now, but it's no different than when I was doing it because I worked virtually before anybody else in the world, probably.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
all I did, because I had all these people all over the world. So I was the one working as a leader virtually back when I did it. That's why I did it, and that's why I said, I wanted to do a grounded study because I knew things that people didn't really realize, and I knew that I could prove it, and I did using the research. So that'd be really cool.
Welcome to the iPrograms podcast, The Art of Program Management, a podcast navigating the complex world of program and project management. I'm Virginia Schauer, your co-host, along with Dr. Bill Bersing, president of iPrograms. Join us for exclusive interviews with top leaders in the world of program management as they share their experiences, knowledge, and advice to help you excel in your career. And don't miss our PM Espresso Shots. These are short, concentrated bursts of conversation designed to ignite your professional growth and supercharge your day. Today is our very first PM Espresso Shot conversation. We're diving into a topic that has become increasingly relevant in today's work environment: virtual versus in-person collaboration. As we explore the question, does it really matter? We invite you to consider the unique benefits and challenges of each approach and how they impact program management. Let's brew some fresh ideas together and energize our professional growth, shall we?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Yeah. 20 some years. What did that look like 20 some years ago?
Yeah, no, it was mostly telephone calls.
Yeah.
It was
like teleconferencing, I guess.
We had conference calls. We had telephone conference. Nobody had the video when it was out there, but nobody wanted to use the video. We had Blackberries because, iPhones came out 2006. They were just brand new, and nobody, anybody in the government was using a Blackberry because it was more secure. And yeah. So it was all about long-term continuity, keeping people together. It was all about meeting face to face first to build trust, because trust is the main thing with leaders and virtual executive trying to do teams and stuff like that. Virtually, it was all about building that trust. And it's the same thing it is today. Nothing's changed. I've heard people say all this stuff and they're just like, no, that's not what it is. What they should be doing today. It's all about building that trust. And you can't build the trust virtually like this. You can, but it takes a lot longer. If you were face to face, you can build it within a week or two, and then you go off virtually something. So that's the conclusion of the whole thing. I have that's good stuff going on.
Like what now about virtual and how much it's changed. Do you think it has helped a little bit, us having like the face-to-face time versus telephone conferencing with that trust? Because you travel. How do you overcome that with all of the programs that you do? Because you do programs around the world. How do you overcome the face-to-face to virtual?
So the face-to-face usually happens. You usually want to do it. COVID really put a wrench in everything. Since COVID, I have not traveled as much. I still have international work. I still have projects in Djibouti and Bahrain and all these places. But I'm doing a lot more kind of conference calls, teams. A lot of the overseas guys, all they do is WhatsApp and stuff. So we do the WhatsApp thing on multiple people. WhatsApp is, even with Dave Link coming from Australia, and us, and it's like a team, because he's coming from Australia. We wanted to get together with Randolph-Macon Academy, all of our graduates of 85 and 84 with Brian Moore. And that was all on WhatsApp because that's what Dave used. And I use it too because I'm used to it. But none of the American guys, they were like, no, Tim didn't have it, Pam, nobody had it. So we had to get everybody together that way. So for the business and how has it changed? Well, a lot of the relationships that we have, like with David Dodd that was on last time, with some of the other people that I have, those relationships spurred into another contract, doing a claim or doing some type of construction management services overseas for scheduling and whatever it is. I don't want to name any names, but I never even met one of the guys. I've been working with this guy for 4 years. That has never happened. But the trust was there between me and the other people that were on the team. And it was good, and it still is. Even to this day, it's like, I just talked to him yesterday and we had some things that are coming about that are really exciting, and we're having modification to our contract and all that. I've never met them, so we're doing all this virtually, mostly virtually, but it's not even Teams now. It's all on WhatsApp and
Okay.
in emails and stuff like that. I'm
And
using
WhatsApp,
this
do you do,
KiteWorks, the program called KiteWorks now with
mhm.
him,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's a lot of contractual stuff, and that's great because, you know, the stuff with the US government has to be secure. So that technology is a miracle worker. That stuff is awesome.
Yeah,
So,
that's like the file exchanging and email exchange security wise.
yeah, and they have forms now too. And even at RMA at the board meeting, I mentioned, I guess I can say this now, but yeah, we should consider doing something that good, because even though it's not in a top secret secure type, you know, squirrely world, but it's definitely something that we can do um, to make it more secure. So people just don't have access to all of our emails or all of our stuff, and we can track it too. That's another thing. I know if I have a Word document, just like the Word document you sent to me before the meeting, you know,
Right.
we can edit it together and this and that. But if I can lock it down so nobody can like even copy it. Or I can say, okay, well, where did it go? How many people who did he send it to? Or what did she do with that information when I did it? You can't even take a screenshot now without us knowing about what IP address you are. It's so cool. That is really cool.
And
And
that's
people
in
are getting into trouble now.
KiteWorks.
Yeah,
That's in KiteWorks, or is that
that's the
in?
kite stuff. Yeah. For a
Yeah.
company that has to do that, because many companies work with the US government, and there's mandates, there's the NSA this, there's this and that for NIST, all these standards to be able to secure your information, because insider threats are out there. It's hard to get that alone. This KiteWorks does it all. It's on a secure server. You know where it's going. You know who's doing what with your information. If an employee leaves, they don't have all the information from that was out there, you know, to be able to give it. And then for me, working with the overseas companies, it's even better because I know exactly what's happening. And the
Yeah.
US
Yeah.
government needs to know as well. So yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. Do you, now that we're like post COVID and everything is like gone virtual, do you have to make like more asserted effort to see people personally and to make those connections? Or,
I hate to tell you, but it's an age thing too. I don't know. I see that some of the guys that are a little older than me and girls, they want to have that face to face. I mean, there's no
yeah.
other way. You're back to work. You need to be face to face. And they don't get it when somebody doesn't come to the office. They're making comments like, oh, you're not working today? You know,
Hmm.
I'm working on a monthly report. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But man, you know, I get way more work done. And most people, nine
I
times out
hear
of
you.
10, people will agree, and even yourself, that you get way more work done in an office without anybody anything telling you that you know, yeah. I get a hell
100%.
of a lot of work done. I get a whole week's work done in a whole day, you know? And then
Yeah.
I'm able to kind of, you know, do the communication as a virtual leader with all the other conference calls, and then meeting face to face. It's extremely important for a project that gets started, you know?
I it will I mean, I can say from my own experience of working online with communities that I'll meet people online and I'll have a great relationship with them. And I do build trust in a way with the virtual conferencing. But when we have an event and everyone comes together face to face, there is something electric about that you cannot put in a video conferencing. And for me, it builds that trust so deeply that they're going to call me the next time they need whatever it is that they need versus someone else, because I was there in person with them.
Yeah.
That relationship is so incredibly important. Can you talk to that? I mean,
Yeah,
when you're
no,
dealing
you
with a
know, the
client,
example I have is with that stuff that we're doing with Esteco, the Mode Frontier, the user meeting that they're having. They have it once a year, but then I haven't gotten to it. But I work for this company that's in Trieste in Italy, and they're an IT type company doing simulation workflow management type stuff. And we have a conference call. You've never met these people, but I have the trusting relationship because I was there. I met them every day. You know, I know exactly who they are, what they do, how they do it. They're really good, exciting people. And when you go to the user meetings, because it's a face-to-face thing, it's an IT thing. So they're mostly working virtually too. There's an excitement there because everybody knows each other kind of because they've been working back and forth, and you get to meet other people that are really cool. So that there are a couple of things there, when I always harp on what the research that I did on virtual executive leadership, it's all about, at the beginning of the relationship, if you have a project, make sure that you meet them face to face as much as you can, and then go off. Long-term continuity, which means that if you, like me, I've been not working for this company, but working with, or I know some of the people, even though there's been a gap of 5 years, I still know the people at the company, and we have that trusting relationship. I went off and did something, they did something, I moved away from Trieste. They're excited to work with us and work with me and the company because they know the company, and having that relationship, you're in. You're there because I introduce you, I vouch for you, you work for IPS. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, we know Bill. Let's do this together. Let's get this new product that we have going. Let's try to work it out. And then hopefully with the podcast, they can see that we're actually doing something with people like Dave Dodd and hopefully Dave Link and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole everything is about trust, even with our relationships, even our family, everything is about trust. Without that, you're nothing. That you got to have the integrity, you have to have the trust, and you have to have the ability to hard work. If you have somebody that does a lot of hard work without any integrity, it's and how do you know if somebody has that integrity? You have to work with them, to be able to do that. And it's impossible not to, even if you have that trusting relationship, you have to work with them to understand what their integrity is, because especially in different culture, it means different things to different people, unfortunately. Right.
Yeah. With the, do you have an example where maybe you've worked with a client and you've only worked virtually with them and they weren't as trusting versus a time when there is a lot of trust?
I'm trying to think how I can explain. I do a lot of claims type stuff, and it's hard to say what I want to say without giving. There has been situations where it's not completely apparent what the situation is, and any legal person, I guess, would have the same kind of thought, and those examples really are, it's not that you didn't trust that person, it's not that they wanted to hide that stuff, but they're not telling you everything you need to tell them. If you were with them and you had a coffee with them like we do in Italy, or you're going out to dinner with them or something, and you're face to face, you're going to know what's going on because they're going to tell you what happened. But it's really hard to do that, especially on conference calls with more than one person, to be able to say, hey, yeah, really, what happened? What's going on? What did they say? What did you say? Give me the skinny up of what the scenario is. But
have you ever felt like someone didn't trust you because you hadn't had the advantage of getting face to face with them?
I take that for granted. I take that even with my clients that I've had for 3 or 4 years and I've never met them, I really am concerned about that.
Yeah.
So it's always in the back of my mind that, hey, maybe they're not going to sign a contract, or maybe because I have to meet with them. But COVID is just, I don't know, it has opened that world up so you can do stuff and you can sign contracts without even meeting the person. It's not impossible, but if the person's a little older than I am, it's tough to have that. Even saying that, now I'm thinking, because it's after COVID, they're going to want to meet to see it, and even now I have relationships with guys that are a little younger, and they have to go talk to the owner of the company, and I don't have that one-on-one anymore, because I haven't spoken to the owner or the president or whatever, and what I do, that's crucial. You have to be really talking to the owner and the president and the CEO to be able to get the contracts for Abdullah, whoever else is going to run and my company is going to run the contract. So yeah, it's tough, but it is what it is. It's the name of the game, If I could get out more often, that would be perfect. But yeah.
how do you, I, through our couple of podcasts that we've done, I've been thinking about um, all of the people in the program, all the stakeholders in the program, and how difficult that must be to get everybody on a conference call or the people that you need on in the room. Do you find that now that everything seems like everything has gone virtual and everything is getting faster and faster and people want things just done, they don't want to have a meeting about it? Do you find that, or do you find most of the time that stakeholders are just like, okay, when can we meet? And they're on top of it and ready to meet?
Yeah, I mean, we deal with some really professional people, so yeah,
It's
and I'm
different.
sure it has other, other organizations, maybe not, but yeah, I mean, it's great. Yeah, the end users, the stakeholders are just amazing. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and everybody's pretty professional. There's some grumbling about, hey, we got too many meetings. We have one this, we do this, and we do that. I don't know. I mean, I like the whole agile project management style. I like to be able to meet more often. I like having a 5-minute meeting or 10-minute meeting, that Scrum type stuff, more than I did anything else. I mean, that's just especially if you're just starting up a good team and you want to get, high performance unit or high performance team going and be able to get things done quickly and have that trust. You got to meet all the time. And that
Yeah.
virtual world is no different than face to face. If you have to meet once a day, every day in the morning before you get started, then you need to do it. But there's pushback because people don't like that. They want to meet in the office or whatever. And it's just, I don't know. You can't call it laziness. I don't know what it is. It's just, there's some pushback.
Maybe efficient,
Yeah.
like they want it to be more efficient, or they want it to be a different way. I don't know.
Well, they're saying I don't have anything to say. It's like, okay, well, then you're not doing anything. That's my thought. All you have to say is what you said the day before. If that's all you have to say, and we're not talking, spend more than a couple minutes on what your piece is, but at least say, hey, this is what I'm working on, so you can do it. And we have a thing, I've always pushed to have like a matrix organization where you have a primary and secondary person in charge and stuff. And, if that secondary person doesn't know what you're doing, it's hard to leave for a week and then just take over. But when you do it and you do the agile type stuff and you meet all the time, if Jack leaves or whoever leaves, then it's fine. We're just going like a smooth sail. But if you don't have those meetings and somebody crucial, the scheduler or the cost estimator leaves for a week, even if you know it, and you don't have somebody kind of backing them up, it's pretty tough.
This was actually a part of a larger conversation, and I can't wait for you to hear the rest. That's it for this episode. We're calling these PM Espresso Shots. They're a daily dose of potent conversation with CEO Dr. Bill Bersing, and we'll have more continued PM Espresso Shots soon, so stay tuned for those. And if you want to continue the conversation, go over to LinkedIn and find Dr. Bill Bersing there. In his posts, we are having other conversations in the comment section. Like, love it, tell us your thoughts. We're excited to see you over there. And also, if you enjoy our PM Espresso Shots and find value in Dr. Bill Bersing's insights, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star review. Your support helps us reach more program management enthusiasts and continue providing valuable content for everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.